Well, the mainstream climate scenarios, which are promoted by financial regulators, are long-term scenarios of global warming, and they're aimed at looking at financial stability rather than the needs of individual financial institutions. And that's a problem. VUCA is an expression that was coined by the US military. It stands for volatility, uncertainty, complexity, and ambiguity. VUCA is missing from most of the mainstream scenarios. It needs to be put back in because VUCA is what we're seeing in relation to climate change. To give you one example, politics is clearly very important to the process of climate change. That's extremely difficult to model, in fact impossible. But the great news is, in scenarios, you can make assumptions and reasonable conjectures about politics. So that, I think, is a perfect example of how VUCA can be applied both by policymakers and by the private sector. A good example of the kind of step change that you could see in the next few years is the withdrawal of insurance coverage, because a lot of people are relying on the idea that insurers will always be there to cover their backs. Well, that won't necessarily be the case. They may not want to do that. It may not be in their business interest to do so. So that kind of institutional shift is the kind of thing that you need to be putting into your climate scenarios.